West Depot?
I gotta go someplace where I can get everything I love. Internet with 1 gig speeds. A home security system. A whole home DVR with thousands of shows on demand.
Wait, all those things that you love, I know people right here who can get you all of it.
Internet, TV, security, and phone. Get it all with Compori, your friendly neighborhood tech giant.
As you set your financial game plan, we'll be with you every play. Relax. You're with Founders.
Hey, I'm Carter Osterhaus from HGTV, here with some tips on heating your home comfortably and responsibly, starting with your heating system. Even on the coldest days, nothing keeps your home warm and cozy like a high-efficiency, Energy Star qualified natural gas furnace. You can actually feel how warm the air is. And that's because a gas furnace delivers air that's up to 25 degrees warmer than the air from a heat pump. And you'll have warmer air inside and cleaner air outside.
Thanks again, Coach, for taking the time here with Andrew Jackson head coach Jeremy Smith. Coach, congratulations on another win, or your first win, actually.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Talk about the preparation heading into that Lamar game, how you felt your guys did during the week.
Yeah, I know we talked last week about it a little bit, but, we felt like the big thing was getting our defense to just fly around. We get 11 guys to the ball was the mission all week. And our defensive staff, I told them, we met yesterday, and I told them, they did a great job. We prepared those guys and it wasn't necessarily scheme. Our kids knew kind of what was coming, and they knew the ideas and kind of their major tendencies, and they did a good job learning that for the week. But the big thing was the preparation of getting our defense to fly around and practice and have play with a sense of urgency. And, they answered the bell. We had a great week, and I told them, kind of this Saturday game too, but, have 3 days that we had on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of defensively, and we didn't get the weather bug so much this past week and having to go in or do whatever because of the heat. But those guys just flew around all week, and they did a great job of taking that to heart. They looked at the Crestwood game and said, we got to get a lot better. We moved a couple guys around, and that was a big deal for, kind of a game changer in a way for us. We moved, we're still trying to find the right personnel for the right spots, but they did a great job of, like I said, flying around. Offensively, we knew the mission was all week, and we kept preaching all week, offensively go win the game. I kept telling them I'm going to be confident in our defense. I felt like our defensive plan was good, and defensively we could go execute. And the whole mission all week was offensively we got to finish drives, and we got to go score and win the game. So I think following up to last Friday night, those guys did a great job in practice, and the coaches challenged them. Our assistant coaches did a great job of challenging them all week and getting them ready.
I know the guys were excited. You got your first win here at AJ. I know you were excited. What did you tell them after the game?
I just told them, don't ever take winning for granted. Don't ever – that's always, after every win, don't take it for granted. Go celebrate it, have fun with it. We'll get back to work on the next opponent, but don't take it for granted. I told them, I always tell them I'm proud of them. I love them. And, tell them, after the game, I just told them, there's things we got to fix and there's things we got to get better at, that we made some mistakes during the game. But like I just said earlier, I spent most time bragging on our defense. Our defense flew around. They did a great job. They gave us chance, obviously a great chance to win the game. And but I just told them, I was happy to do it with them. And the guys are, their hard work during the week paid off. So super excited. Like I said, I was super excited for them. Don't take it for granted, and keep working to get better at it.
And you talk about the defense, but the offense was also pretty good, rushing for a lot of yards. Why don't you talk about them and tell us what you liked about your offense?
Yeah. So, like I said, our mission, I've always felt like we're going to be able to win some games when we can run the ball, right? We're going to be in position. If we can run the ball effectively, we can win some games. And we rushed for almost 400 yards on Friday night. I mean, it was we had Trey Thompson. Trey had 25 carries for 229 yards. And then he was spelled by Demias Seegers. Demias is only a sophomore, but he's got some, if he can get loose, he's got a little speed to him. And so Demias only had 6 carries for 100 yards, almost, 18-yard average there. So, those two did a great job of, trusting it. Defensively, we thought they would be pretty good. They had some pretty good players on defense, and we thought they would try to, do a good job. And they loaded the box on us. They put a lot of guys in the box on us, and we found a way to run the ball. But our O-line's getting better. We had one guy get hurt, and he came back this week, and so our offensive line continued to get better. We got great play out of our tight end H-back Hayden, and so we're getting better at it each week as far as finishing blocks and being consistent within our run game. But I was extremely happy that obviously I felt like if we can run the ball efficiently, we're going to be in position to win the game. Off Brady, crazy part is Brady. He did throw an interception, but he was 11 for 16. And so we felt like at times to pass the ball, the way we wanted to. We just got to be efficient with it. There were a couple of times we made some bad decisions, and once or twice we didn't run the right route. But we're getting better. I've seen progress with our offense all 3 weeks. And so, like I said, the main thing is we just got to keep getting better at finishing blocks. So that's the big thing right now.
And the game started off as really a defensive struggle for both teams. Both teams' defenses were pretty good until your offense got going. What else did you like about your defense?
Yeah, they hung in there, right? For the first time, I've saw multiple guys on defense get to the ball and rallying, and that's a huge sign, right? That they were playing with a lot of energy, playing a lot of intensity. Linebackers, young linebackers like Cam McGill had 10 tackles on the game, and you just saw them all over the place, even on special teams and things like that. So the fact that they were rallying to the ball and trying to play with a little bit more energy, they came out and played with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity to the game. But we did a much better job of stopping the run. We didn't. That was the kind of our weakness. The last 2 games was we just didn't do a great job of stopping the run. And so defensively came out and we were able to slow them down and did a much better job of making tackles and finishing and just flying around. That part, it changes the whole demeanor of your team when, they're out there playing with a lot of energy, and, it kind of gives the offense some breathing room. But for them to keep us in the game and essentially go win the game for us, it was really good to see.
Talk about your special teams.
Yeah, we had a miss. It was kind of a night of some penalties and some kind of mistakes there. That was one big thing I told them at halftime. I was like, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. We're killing ourselves because we're being a little undisciplined with some offside penalties. We had one on a field goal exchange where, we essentially gave them another possession, right? They were going to kick a field goal, brought their offense back on the field because we jumped off sides and things like that. But I felt like, our Kurt's doing very well. Kurt, he made a field goal for us, and he was perfect on his extra points. So Kurt Thomas is doing a great job with, kicking wise, and He's getting better on kickoffs, placing the ball where we need him to. We still got to work to create some more lanes and explosion with our kickoff return team. And we felt like there was one or two situations where we could have got after the ball and maybe blocked the kick, and we just didn't finish on it. So we're going to continue to get better at that. We want to start taking some advantage of special teams as far as that goes. We had one punt in the back of our end zone that we handled, that Marshall, our punter, handled very well. We didn't block great for him, and he handled the snap and got the kickoff, without any blocks. And they had blocked the kick for the previous game for a safety. So that was the thing that we worked at. I overemphasized this week was punt team had to be really good at blocking it up. So, but I felt like our punt team and our kickoff return and kickoff team, they gave us pretty decent field position. And like I said, that to me, that's we got to flip the field. We got to be able to flip the field on special teams, and we did a pretty decent job of that Friday night.
Any other players that you were surprised with their play in a good way that pleasantly surprised you, or any other notable players you want to talk about?
Yeah, like I said, Demias, and Demias plays every snap of defense, and he's a young guy. He's played DB, a little bit of linebacker. We're still trying to figure out his, where he fits best scheme-wise and where he helps us the most defensively. But he played every snap of defense. He spelled Trey on offense, and to come out and rush the ball the way he did, I was very, very impressed with that. I know I keep mentioning on here every week Hayden Williams. I mean, that guy plays his tail off. He graded out at 90, 5 knockdowns, had his first touchdown, had a touchdown reception for 17 yards there. And I give credit to Coach Henderson and Coach Stover, our OCE receiver and quarterback coach. We have been talking about, getting Hayden some, play where we know we can get him the ball. And we've been talking about that play for a couple drives, and they did a great job of saying, let's run it, right? Let's get him the ball. And so, but Hayden did a great job. Had 9 tackles on defense. I mean, guy just played lights out, and another guy that doesn't get a lot of recognition is JT Gandy. JT plays tail off on defense, D-line, is our long snapper. And so, he goes a lot, almost on every special team. But like I said, some guys like Cam McGill, some guys stepped up defensively that we needed to step up. Tyree Gaddy, first time really starting in a varsity game, started at corner for us. There were some guys on defense that, like I said, stepped up and did a great job. And offensive line-wise, we got some guys that are solid this is their second year starting on offensive line at the varsity level, 4 seniors. And so those guys are continuing to get better each week and kind of, we just got to get a finished mentality, but we're getting better each week there.
And you got another tough opponent coming up this week in Lakewood. You guys traveled there. Tell us about Lakewood and what you're expecting.
Yeah, so, we get to take another trip to Sumter County. But Lakewood is another athletic team. That's the first thing I popped the film on. Sometimes records can obviously be deceiving on some teams, and when you look at their film, and I know they're 1-3 at this point. But again, they played some good teams. To play Dreer and play Ainer and Sumter. They played some good teams up to this point. I know they beat Fox Creek and kind of in a close game there. But they're an athletic team. Another team that's going to, like we saw last week, another team that's going to run the ball. They're going to run it. Kind of their tendencies is most of the time they're trying to establish a run. They've got a good little running back. They got pretty decent sized offensive line. So we know what their plan is going to be, right? They're going to come in and try to establish a run. And again, it's got to be another week where I told our guys this morning, it's another week where we're going to have to fly around on defense and do another good job of stopping the run and keep getting better at that. So they're going to be athletic. They're going to be good defensively. We think we're going to get it's a little bit different scheme than what we saw. It's an even front. It's a little bit different scheme than what we've seen kind of the past 3 weeks, but we're going to see another team that's going to try to get guys in the box on us, and we're just going to see that all year. Guys are going to try to stop our running game. We feel pretty good about our plan for this week of how to establish the run game and get some passes and be efficient with it. But it could be deceiving. I know the record, like I said, can be very deceiving. They've played some good teams, and hopefully the good teams we've played up to this point have prepared us. So, but we're excited. You can tell our kids are excited, and we're ready to get to Friday night.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for taking the time out, and we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Grant, what you doing at the bus depot?
I gotta go someplace where I can get everything I love. Internet with 1 gig speeds. A home security system. A whole home DVR with thousands of shows on demand.
Wait, all those things that you love, I know people right here who can get you all of it.
Internet, TV, security, and phone. Get it all with Compori, your friendly neighborhood tech giant.
Let's go! Oh yeah! Reach for the sky. We go! Yeah! Yeah!
As you set your financial game plan, we'll be with you every play. Relax. You're with Founders.
Hey, I'm Carter Osterhaus from HGTV, here with some tips on heating your home comfortably and responsibly, starting with your heating system. Even on the coldest days, nothing keeps your home warm and cozy like a high-efficiency, Energy Star qualified natural gas furnace. You can actually feel how warm the air is, and that's because a gas furnace delivers air that's up to 25 degrees warmer than the air from a heat pump, and you'll have warmer air inside and cleaner air outside.
Thanks again, Coach, for being on with us here with Joe Watson, head coach of the Buford Yellow Jackets. Thanks for being here, Coach.
Thanks for having me again this week.
Yeah, and talk about your prep going into the game. I know it was a big Buford win, so you must have been pretty happy with the prep.
Yeah, well, I purposefully told our guys I would not show them film. It's kind of what I talked about last week. I didn't show them any film going into this week on who we were playing. I took care. We went in as a coach staff with the mindset, let's take care of us and clean up us a little bit and fix what we got to fix, and everything else will take care of itself. And, we filmed practice a good bit this week, and we watched that to clean up us, like I said, and then we watched a little bit of last Friday night's game too. So, that's kind of how we prepped this week. We knew as a coaching staff what the plan was. Because we did have film on them. But like I said, I purposefully did not show film to the kids.
Well, and after a rough couple of weeks, I'm sure the kids were happy after a 49-0 win. What did you tell the kids after the game?
Well, I just told them, that, again, a lot of people think we're really far away, but we're not. In terms of, there's been some lopsided scores, unfortunately, but there's been some good things in those games. But, overall, yeah, I was really proud of the way we played. We still got to clean up some stuff. We had 13 penalties again Friday night, which is, you can't do. And we were lucky enough that didn't bite us in the tail. But, yeah, after the game, I was excited for the kids, man. They deserve this win. They've worked hard all season. And like I said, we needed it.
Talk about your offense, what you saw in them and what you liked from them.
Well, offensively, we had 330 yards of total offense. Our leading rusher was Antonio Amos. He came back first game back after a broke hand. It got casted, and he's been playing, and he ran the ball 9 times for 135 yards and had 2 touchdowns. And I would be really remiss if I didn't mention Mason Dees as well, because we got to move Mason around Friday night. He played running back a little bit, he played quarterback a little bit, and he played wide receiver a little bit for us Friday, which is going into the year before Antonio broke his hand. That was the plan. And so we were able to get back to what we wanted to do originally. And Mason had 3 rushes for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, you know, we were able, like I said, we moved him and Aaron around a good bit, and good things happen for us when we can be multiple like that with those guys.
And obviously pitching a shutout is always good. Talk about that defense.
Well, you know, we played we changed up a little bit, went to a 3-man front against them, and just kind of threw a new wrinkle in there at them, and something that we didn't think they'd seen before. And defensively, we played pretty well, man. We held them to minus 11 yards rushing and 56 total yards of offense. So, and again, defensively, those guys up front got after it. And I got to mention Aaron Morris on the defense side of the ball. He had 9 tackles. He had 2 picks and 1 pick six. So, you know, he played lights out for us on that side of the ball too. So, but overall, you know, if you hold somebody to minus yards rushing, you're doing something decent, or to something right anyway.
Awesome. And talk about your special teams, what you liked from their play.
Kickoff coverage was real good for us. We kicked it where we wanted to kick it, and we covered the ball real well. I don't know that we punted at all. I'm almost positive we didn't punt. And in the kick return team, we were able to cover 1. So we're all right. And then our extra points, we were good on all those. So, you know, I'm pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, anytime you don't punt in a game, it's usually a pretty good sign for your team. Talk about any other players that maybe stepped up that you didn't expect, or any other of maybe the big guys that played well.
Well, like I said, when I first mentioned about the defense, those guys up front, you know, Michael Jaime is a senior, plays defensive end for us, and you know his overall stat line was not probably what he would want, but he got after the quarterback. They like to throw it a good bit Friday night, and he got after the quarterback with a bunch of hurries and some pressures. And like I said, now his overall stat line probably isn't the best, but what he did to disrupt was really good for us. And then, like I said, overall everybody played pretty well for all intents and purposes anyway.
Awesome. And now you got a bye coming into the bye week. What's kind of your plan going into bye weeks?
Well, you know, at this point in the season, everybody's body needs to rest a little bit. So the plan for us is we're going to give them the day off, and we'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You know, like I said earlier, to clean us up a little bit. And we'll watch film today and try to get all those things corrected as much as possible. And like I said, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll hit it hard. And then Friday, I'll give them off Friday as well. And then next week, we'll be right back at it for Cross here at home, which is going to be a tough test. They're a good football team.
I was going to say, yeah, Cross is pretty good. It's maybe even nice for your team to get a couple extra days to maybe look at them and get ready, don't you think?
Well, yeah, and, you know, we don't have film like that on them right now, just going off of what they did last year. You know, they like to throw it around a little bit, which would be a test for the secondary and the skill guys back there at linebacker. But, you know, I think it's just as important for us to heal up too, not only physically but mentally. And, you know, even with it being the first one Friday night, I told them we got a 24-hour rule, man. We're gonna enjoy it for 24 hours and flush it and go to work for this next one. So that's kind of where we are right now. Kids are working hard. Don't take anything from them, from what they're trying to accomplish. And so, you know, we're just going to, like I said, we're going to go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week and try to heal up mentally and physically from what's been a long season so far.
All right, Coach. Well, I really appreciate you taking some time today.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it, man.
What you doing at the bus depot?
I gotta go someplace where I can get everything I love. Internet with 1 gig speeds. A home security system. A whole home DVR with thousands of shows on demand.
Wait, all those things that you love, I know people right here who can get you all of it.
Internet, TV, security, and phone. Get it all with Compori, your friendly neighborhood tech giant.
Let's go! Oh yeah! Reach for the sky. We go! Yeah! Yeah!
As you set your financial game plan, we'll be with you every play. Relax. You're with Founders.
Hey, I'm Carter Osterhaus from HGTV, here with some tips on heating your home comfortably and responsibly, starting with your heating system. Even on the coldest days, nothing keeps your home warm and cozy like a high-efficiency, Energy Star qualified natural gas furnace. You can actually feel how warm the air is, and that's because a gas furnace delivers air that's up to 25 degrees warmer than the air from a heat pump, and you'll have warmer air inside and cleaner air outside.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm here with Coach Adam Hastings, Indian football head coach. Coach, thanks for being on again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you've had some really tight games going into the Fort Mill game this weekend. Has that changed your preparation or anything the last couple of weeks?
You know, I think it has. It's changing the fact that it's made us really focus on some areas of the game that we hadn't put a lot of emphasis in the off season. So I think like anytime, you lose or you play, a tight game, I think it's a really good opportunity to kind of look back and see, what can you do better? What can you do more of? And I think especially the first game of the year, which we lost at the very last play. And then the last game we played 2 weeks ago, rather, against Palisades, was when we won. So, just kind of looking at where we're at in those games and what we have to do as a program to where we're not in those close games. And if we are in those close games, how do we win? So that was a good part about, just kind of being able to look back and, do a little self-autopsy of where we're at as a program.
And obviously that worked a little bit with this Indian 32-7 win over Fort Mill. What was your message to the guys after that game?
Just, congratulations, for their effort. I thought they prepared really well. I thought, we didn't have a great day Tuesday, but, the weather has not been kind to us this last month. Tuesday was the very first day we were able to get outside on a normal practice we've had, since the summer. So, we had a good week of practice, and it was a consistent week for us. And so, it's just kind of like, look, you can prepare well, you're mentally ready to go. It gives you the best chance to go out and do what you want to do. And then, the one thing I thought we did last week we hadn't done the weeks prior was just to close out the game. Even the loss we had at Nation Ford in the Palisades, there were events in those games where we felt like if we had not dropped the ball or we hadn't done this or we had tackled better or been in a better position, then we had a chance to put the scores away by 2-3 scores, and we didn't. And I thought this week we did a really good job of capitalizing on our big plays on offense, making some crucial big plays on defense, and for the most part playing pretty well in special teams.
And talk about more specifically that offense, what you liked from your offense this last week.
Well, Jackson Scheidt just continues to really do well. I mean, he's really taken some huge steps this year going into this season. I mean, he was 15 for 16 for 252, on Friday. You know, with the one miss was, you know, a throw in pressure, under pressure, that was kind of almost a throwaway. So he had 3 touchdown passes. I mean, I think that this really kind of talks to really his ability to take the game on himself. And in fact, he even, you know, was making some checks in the line to get us into some better plays that he saw, which, you know, you want a 3-year starter to be able to do. So 2 of those checks, one of them resulted in a touchdown and on a run, checked the pass to a run, and the other one was a big 3rd down conversion for us. So I think that shows his maturity and understanding the game. And then Hayden Morris, a sophomore, continues to have a really big season for us. He had 10 catches for 84 yards and 3 touchdowns. So offensively, you know, those guys led the way.
And a little bit more on Jackson now. Last year and the year before, even, like, he ran the ball a lot more as a quarterback and didn't quite do as much. Talk about the maturity and the progression that a lot of players make, that he specifically made the last couple of years into a passer, a prolific passer, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, coming out of week 1, you know, we didn't know if he was going to be out for a couple of weeks. You know, he got hurt in the 3rd quarter of our game against Nation Ford, which is something that really hurt us in that game. But anyway, you know, he'd been hurt, so I think it kind of closed some of those doors that he had used in the running game, and really kind of made us a little bit cautious about running him. And then in Palisades, I mean, he rushed for 85 yards in the game and on a couple runs, and just kind of took off. He scored one time on a scramble or in, you know, an empty formation situation, and, you know, he saw that he had a clear lane and rushed for a 40-some yard touchdown. So I think he saw the right opportunities, but I think the big step up for him now is just understanding how to really capitalize on some different looks and coverages, and really understanding how to utilize and really, you know, play inside the passing game the right way. And I think it's given confidence not only to the staff, but really to the rest of the players and the receivers, and knowing that they can trust that he's a guy that can go up and catch the ball for them or throw the ball to them when they need him.
All right, and talk about your defense, what you like from them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, another really good game. We gave up 1 score, you know, late in the game, but just really felt like they had a really dominant performance for the most of the game. I think they, you know, held them to like 35 yards of passing, and, you know, gave us some runs, but, you know, Fort Mill, they play hard. They have some good kids. Coach does a great job making sure those guys are in the right spot. I mean, they're going to make you earn everything. And I thought our defense did a really good job. You know, Tamir Hickman-Collins had another big game, 15 tackles, 3 sacks. He really kind of continues to elevate his game this year. You know, Justin is a sophomore linebacker we had. You know, he had 12 tackles. He had a sack and a forced fumble. Mikey Johnson is another sophomore for us who it continues just to have big game for big game and big game. He had 13 tackles for us. And we had some guys step up on the defensive line. Iverson Nunez started. This was his first start, played really well, had 7 tackles. Chase Jones had 10 tackles. So we had a lot of guys up front, did a really good job of creating pressure and allowing our linebackers, you know, to rack up some big numbers.
Awesome. Talk about your special teams, what you saw in their play and what you liked.
Yeah, minus, you know, we had some issues on field goal, which we had was kind of disappointed in. It wasn't one failure. It's just, you know, just some different mistakes that really disappointed in. And minus 1 kickoff, we did a really good job. They brought a lot of different pressure on their punt team. I thought, on their punt block team, and I thought our punt team did a really good job of picking that up, and they tried to fake on us. Our guys did a really good job of identifying and stopping. So, you know, there's some bright spots to it for us, but there's some things we definitely have to work on going forward.
And notable players, it sounds like on offense, you know, you were able to throw for some yards. I'm sure you've always been able to run. Who are some of those guys up front that are opening up holes or giving Jackson some time back there?
Yeah, I mean, for us, you know, it starts up front on both sides of the ball. And, you know, Jake Recker and Trey Rodriguez are 2 seniors returners. And, you know, Jake's playing left tackle, and he's just had a tremendous year. And then Trey's playing right guard. You know, he's a returner. Again, both those guys were all region last year. And so you can really see them elevate their game. Wesley Golick, he played a lot last year, and Ken Hampton, who played a little bit last year, are stepping at left guard and right tackle. And then Jackson Wan's had a really good for sophomore year. We play like 14, 15 sophomores and freshmen right now. And Jackson's one of them and has really kind of stepped up his game. So we're really excited about that.
All right. And we're looking forward to having you guys as our game of the week this week as you guys take on Trinity Christian. Talk about them and what you're expecting from them.
Well, it's hard to say. I played Trinity. Trinity's a private school out of Fayetteville. They've had a lot of success. When I was the head coach of Providence Day, we played them twice. One year they beat us. I mean, they had on that team, they had like 8 Division I players. And then next year we beat them at their place. So, they're going to play hard. Coach Webster does a good job. They're going to have some athletes. They won't have the numbers that we do, but the players they have will be pretty good. So it's hard to see. It's hard to kind of say what they're going to have. They don't have haven't had a lot of games to play. They have a hard time scheduling, which kind of worked out for us. This is a late schedule game due to a drop that Parkwood had on us. So really just kind of excited. This is a key week for us. We walk into the bye week next week, and then we hit region. So it's really important for us to end, this span of non-region games, kind of getting better every single week. And then be able to rest up and fold that into our region play. And that's all, this 5 weeks have been for us, is getting ready for region, hoping to be at full strength when we get to that region play. So getting into that moment is going to be really important.
And you said you have so many sophomores and freshmen playing for you. These non-region games, really, how does it help them get really prepared for the region?
Well, just, our region is so difficult. There's no easy week. I mean, you can see it all across the state, just how well our region plays. Northwestern won a convincing victory. South Point a convincing victory against Chester. Catawba Ridge continues to play really well. Lancaster, lost a really close one with a really good Fairfield Central team. And York loses a barn burner with Clover. So, but I mean, if you look at our region, it's so difficult. There's no easy weeks. And we're going to play a bunch of really veteran teams who play hard. They're well coached, and they're going to give you everything they got. So for us, for our young guys, it's kind of getting them prepared for those moments. So those moments aren't bigger than they are, and not. Sometimes when they get out there and they realize the severity of the game and who they're going against, we've been battling this for a while now, just trying to get our guys to understand that we have earned the right to be in these seats. And so getting our guys to not kind of look at the lights, but pay attention to, who we are and how well we can play when we play well, I think is an important aspect of who we are.
All right, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you this weekend, and thanks for taking some time.
Absolutely.
Hey, Grant, what you doing at the bus depot?
I gotta go someplace where I can get everything I love. Internet with 1 gig speeds. A home security system. A whole home DVR with thousands of shows on demand.
Wait, all those things that you love, I know people right here who can get you all of it.
Internet, TV, security, and phone. Get it all with Compori, your friendly neighborhood tech giant.
Let's go! Oh yeah! Reach for the sky. We go! Yeah! Yeah!
As you set your financial game plan, we'll be with you every play. Relax. You're with Founders.
Hey, I'm Carter Osterhaus from HGTV, here with some tips on heating your home comfortably and responsibly. starting with your heating system. Even on the coldest days, nothing keeps your home warm and cozy like a high-efficiency, Energy Star qualified natural gas furnace. You can actually feel how warm the air is. And that's because a gas furnace delivers air that's up to 25 degrees warmer than the air from a heat pump. And you'll have warmer air inside and cleaner air outside.